What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Trivial Conversations, and today is going to be my spoiler-free review for Batman v Superman. So, Batman v Superman stars Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Jeremy Irons, Amy Adams, and honestly, the cast list goes on and on. It's directed by Zack Snyder, and it's the second DC Cinematic Universe movie. So, as some of you may know, I'm a huge DC fan myself, and I also try to be fair. So, I mean, there's going to be a little bit of bias in all my reviews I do that involve DC. But just know that, I'm trying to be a film critic here first, and then a DC fan next, of course. So, this is a mixed movie. It's not perfect, not by a long shot, but people are really not liking it. But so, let's just get to the good part first, and first things first, the performances in this movie are stellar. They're just rock solid here. So Ben Affleck and Jeremy Irons, they play Batman and Alfred respectively, and you really feel their relationship here. Ben Affleck himself plays Bruce Wayne and Batman just very, very, very well. He's old, grizzled. This Batman's seen some shit, and he's gonna do some shit too. Right, you can really just feel his anger that he has. It's very Dark Knight Returns-esque here. And then, Batman. This is Batman to an Alfred. This is an Alfred to an old Batman, an old grizzled Batman. So we saw in the Dark Knight movies, Michael Caine played Alfred. He was always trying to stop Bruce. He didn't ever really believe that whole crusade that he's going on, which was okay. It was cool. But Jeremy Irons, he believes in the crusade, and he'll even tease Batman saying things like, "Find a good metropolis girl to settle down with." Or he'll say something like, "The next era of Waynes will inherit an empty wine cellar." If there is going to be a next generation. You can kind of... it's almost like when you're in your mid-20s and your mom's asking you when you're going to have grandkids. It's like that. And I really enjoy the dynamic of that relationship. There's one thing that I'm going to talk about that's a pretty minor spoiler that I'm going to talk about in the end of the video. That I have a little bit of a problem with the both of them. But besides them, Henry Cavill, again, comes back as Superman from Man of Steel. He does a lot of good stuff, right? He's not Christopher Reeve. He doesn't really, embody Superman to me. But this is such, a different Superman, it's kind of hard to judge him next to any other actors that have portrayed Superman. He's good. He's not bad. I kind of feel like he has he needs more to go off of for me to really get a judge off of him. But he's good. One problem I have with him though is his Clark Kent and his Superman are the same person. Some of you may be sitting there laughing, well, of course. They are the same person. But they're not, though. So Superman doesn't change his voice, he doesn't change his mannerisms, he still wears super tight shirts so you can see that he's just yoked under the shirt. But, he just has glasses on, so they're cool, it's Clark Kent. And, that to me is kind of unacceptable, whereas... Because kind of the whole thing with the disguise is Clark Kent is such an idiot, he could never be Superman. But in this, it's if you take off the glasses, he's literally Superman. So, that's one problem I have. Amy Adams returns as Lois Lane. I hated her in the first movie. This movie, she's really good. She's really good, rock to ground Superman to, and then also to kind of investigate what's kind of going on with Lex Luthor. But we'll get to that in a second. Another thing I really liked was the nightmare sequence It kind of felt weird in this movie having it. Like, just by itself, it's awesome. It's like Batman in a Mad Max type world, and Superman's a crazy dictator. So it only goes on for 10-ish minutes. And, it's cool. I really dug it. Kind of fit weird in the film's pacing, though. I don't know if I would have put it in there if I was the director, but what do I know? And then Lex Luthor, portrayed by Jesse Eisenberg, is odd. Like, something you should know is this isn't OG Lex Luthor. This is Lex Luthor Jr. As you can guess by the name, the original Lex Luthor, not a good dad. His son was abused beyond belief, and so you kind of see that carry forward. Like, he's kind of neurotic, very nervous all the time. I think it's an interesting way to go for Lex Luthor. That he's just full blown, like, yeah, dude, he's fucking crazy. Like, I mean, again, like, it's a different interpretation from what we've seen. Like, when I usually think of Lex Luthor, I think of like Gene Hackman and like cool, calm, collected, like always trying to get the step up, but not letting you know that he's trying to get there. Whereas this Lex Luthor, like, he's gonna laugh on his way to try and get to the step up. Like, it was almost Joker light, if you catch my drift there. The titular fight, Batman fighting Superman, is rad. It's everything you would expect from it. It doesn't go on too long. I think the reason why they're fighting, a little bit silly. And how the fight ends, like, I like the idea there, but the execution was just not there with it. So another good thing, like, this is a Zack Snyder movie, so the fight scenes were amazing, particularly Batman's fight scenes. If you've seen that second trailer where he goes in the warehouse, like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, he walks in there, like, he's the dude with the bad motherfucker wallet. Like, you know this. And if you've played the Arkham games, you know what I'm talking about. Like, he flies across the room, he's disabling guns, he's dodging knives. Like, it's super cool. And of course, it's shot gorgeously because it's a Zack Snyder movie, so I mean, that's almost a must. There's one chase scene in particular that's so cool. It's the Batmobile chasing some trucks that are carrying kryptonite, and it is just fantastic. But, like, Batman's, going through buildings, crushing some cars this way, or using, like, an oil tanker to get past and block the other cars. It's a really cool fight, really cool chase scene, really inventive, and Snyder, so it's gonna look pretty cool. The score, oh my lord, the score, it's so good. Produced by Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL. If you don't know who Junkie XL is, he did Mad Max and Deadpool most recently. And Hans Zimmer, if you don't know, he did Interstellar, all the Dark Knight movies, Man of Steel, like, really just phenomenal work by him. And this is kind of a mix of both. Each character has their own theme that I recognized, and I liked it quite a bit. Like, Lex's is like high-strung violin notes. So whenever he walks on screen, you're like, and so, like, you know what's up. And then, like, Batman's is really dark, has a little bit of, like, a choir theme to it. Superman's is almost the same as his Man of Steel theme with like, the drums and the really, like, epic feeling to it. Wonder Woman's has, like, this, like, weird, like, 90s guitar riff in the middle of it. Like, it's so great. Speaking of Wonder Woman, really cool. Not given much to do, but I think that's for the best. When she does break out, though, as Wonder Woman, like, you feel it. It's like, fuck yeah, this is the Wonder Woman we've been waiting for. So now let's move on to the bad. And there's quite a bit of it. The plot and pacing in general, like, it's so weirdly put together. They need to get another editor for this one. Like the scenes are kind of just like cut right in the middle, and you're moving from subplot to subplot, and it's all moving at the same time. Like there's not a whole lot of flow here, and like it feels like four movies put into one during the first half. Like you have Batman trying to stop Superman, or like figuring out whether he should or not. And you have Lex Luthor trying to trick Batman into not liking Superman and also trying to get kryptonite. And there's the stuff with the Senate that he's trying to do. And then with Superman, he's trying to do his own thing, trying to save and help people. And then Lois Lane's trying to figure out where this certain bullet came from and how that relates back to Lex Luthor. It's kind of a mess. Like I liked it. It was a beautiful mess, right? Like the acting, super good. Most of the writing, way better than Man of Steel. Leagues better than Man of Steel. But just the whole flow and the pace of the movie felt so off in the first half. And then the third act itself, I think is such a mess. Like, this should have been two movies, I feel like. Like the first one, focus more on Batman and Lex and have Superman just be there, kind of. Have him almost be a secondary character. And then end it with halfway through the Batman v Superman fight happens. So end it either at the end of that or like right in the middle of it. And call that one Batman v Superman, I don't know, like Midnight or something. But have like the Midnight spelled with K, because, you know, it's Batman. And the second movie should have been called Batman and Superman Dawn of Justice. Like, this was two movies, right? And it's super weird. I feel like they were planning on doing two movies, and then the studio was like, we can't give you guys that much time. You're ridiculous. And so they were like, oh, okay, I guess we can turn it into one. Like the director's cut's like 4.5 hours long. I'm interested to see if that fixes any of these problems. The court scenes, I like the idea quite a bit of like the government doesn't know what to do with Superman. And again, like it's kind of continuing that theme from Man of Steel of that realistic Superman. You know, realistic in the fact that it's like how people would react. Like when Jonathan Kent dies in the first one, and like he holds his hand up, everybody was like, that's so dumb. Superman would save his dad. It's kind of like, well, like in the real world, right, like if I had a son that had those powers, I'd be scared shitless. I'd be like, no, you're staying there. I'm going to die, but you have to protect yourself, man. But again, it's kind of that realistic feel, but those scenes don't really go anywhere. Holly Hunter is bad. She's not good. There's one scene in particular towards the end of it where, you know, something's on the countertop and you immediately know what it is. At least I did. The people that I saw the movie with did. Maybe some people didn't. But it literally sits there for like 5 minutes, slowly turning it around. And it's such a waste of time. And then, again, it ends kind of abruptly. I would have liked to see more with it. And it kind of felt almost useless to me. Again, this should have been two movies. That plot point should have been progressed. Way too much Justice League buildup. There's one really cool cameo in the first half of the movie that I was like, yes, this is universe building. This is how you do it. And then there's one scene right before the third act where like it shows Justice League members and they literally have their symbol and a whole file on them, and literally just like clicks through. It's like, what are you doing? Nobody does that. That was stupid. That was just dumb. Again, I feel like if this movie had more time to maybe throw another cameo our way or like do something like this or that, right, it could have been done better. But that was, to me, it just felt like really lazy and just kind of boring. CGI, especially towards the end, gets a little bit spotty. I'm not going to talk too much about that because that's gets in some spoiler territory. And they do something in the end that I thought was cool, and then they reversed it during the last shot, and I was like, oh god damn it! Like, you need to have conviction in your decisions. Like, if this would have happened, and then you don't hear any other mention of it until like Justice League, the end of Justice League Part 1, I would have been like, yes, that's super cool. But with this, it's like, okay, well, I know he's gonna come back. Well, I'm just gonna stop talking about that because I'm gonna get into spoilers. And again, like I'm talking with the court scene, like the slowly turning the jar, it panders to the audience way too much when it doesn't need to, and then when it does, it doesn't. Right? It's super weird. Like I didn't like that. Like, you need to know what to tell your audience and like how to tell it. Like, a huge problem with this movie. It's pretty scatterbrained in general. Things just happen over here and then happen over, and they ooh, ha, 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 ha. It's like, what the fuck is even going on? And I think Snyder's not as strong as the director as needed. I think either he needs to be taken off and be put as an executive producer and have even like Ben Affleck direct, because he's a really competent director. He's really good at what he does. And just have Snyder just kind of direct fight scenes and do this and do that. But for these building blocks of your universe, you need a strong director to carry it through. Like, Marvel had Jon Favreau, which, while he's not like best of the best, he's good. He knows how to get what he wants here. So another thing I want to address is the thoughts of the critics. As of recording this, it's at 31% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is a joke. No way this movie's at 31%. Not even close. Again, it's kind of weird because Rotten Tomatoes is, did you like it? Yes, no. And so a no hurts that percentage when a yes helps that percentage. Okay, it's fine. But on Metacritic, it's at 44. So, I've never seen that before. I've never seen a Metacritic score higher than a Rotten Tomatoes score. And plus, like, I think a lot of these people kind of wanted this movie to fail from the get-go. Like, again, I'm a DC fan, so maybe, you know, I'm reading too much into it, but like, when I talk to people before this movie, they're just like, it's gonna be bad. Like, it's gonna be bad. And like, even when it was first announced, like, people were just like, this is going to be bad. And like, some of these critics, like, they said it's not fun. Right? You should just wait for the next Marvel movie. And that kind of upset me. Like, and I hate to compare Marvel and DC movies because they're such different beasts. But, you know, I'm gonna break my own code here and, you know, compare the shit out of them. It's weird. Like, the Avengers is the Avengers. It's lighthearted, it's funny, there's jokes here, 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 here. Really snappy action. But DC, you have that really cool action, but the jokes aren't as numerous. I think there's one joke here and there, like if you saw the second trailer, it spoiled the whole movie for you, by the way. But there's like a line at the end where Wonder Woman shows up and Superman's like, is she with you? And Batman's like, no, I thought she was with you. And then, like, that's cool. Like, that's a couple of the jokes. Like, but I kind of feel like people were missing the point. This isn't the Avengers. It's supposed to be more like Watchmen. So, great. And then with DC and Marvel too, when this comes out, Marvel movies are Marvel movies. Like, the Avengers and Age of Ultron aren't Joss Whedon movies. They're Marvel movies. But in this, like, this Batman v Superman isn't a DC movie. It's far more of a Zack Snyder movie. So, like, the woman who directs Wonder Woman, which I think her name is Pat Riley. Right, it isn't going to be a DC Wonder Woman movie. It's going to be a Pat Riley movie. And right, Aquaman isn't going to be a DC movie. It's going to be like a James Wan movie. So I don't know, just different strokes for different folks, I guess. But I mean, you can kind of see the point of the directorial committee on Marvel when you see this, and it's like, dude, Zack Snyder need to be told to stop. um, so again, just set your expectations for it. Know what you're getting into, and I think you'll like it quite a bit. So final thoughts here. It's good, not great. I'm really excited for the future. Suicide Squad comes out pretty soon, August. Wonder Woman and Justice League Part 1 next year. It's super rad. I'm really looking forward to it. And when this goes up, either later that night or the next day, a video go up with me and my other co-host Nathan Hamilton, and we're gonna talk about spoilers for the movie, like very, very, very spoiler filled. If you haven't seen the movie, don't watch that one yet. But again, if you're waiting for a review score, we don't do that here because I think review scores are dumb, and you need to look at the content of the review itself and not just look for a score. But all in all, I really like this movie. It's not perfect, but it does a lot of things right. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Like makes me feel better about myself. Share so more people can make me feel better about myself. And subscribe if you want to see all of this all the time. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.